I'm out here in my fruit orchard and I'm about ready to show you how I pick Scuppernongs. A lot of people call them Scupperdines, but they're kin to the muscadine family, and by looking online and stuff, I've always seen them listed as Scuppernongs. Um, Anyways, I plan on taking these through the process of, picking and making jelly from them. So I'll show you how it starts and about how to pick them. This is my Scuppernong arbor, and they grow pretty much like wine grapes. They're very tough skinned. Some of them go from sweet to sour, and let me show you how this works. Up close, it looks like there's nothing really on these leaves until you get up here and you get into the foliage and look, and you start to lift up, and then you'll see more. And when you get inside the arbor, you can kind of see from all sides. Now this side, I've already gone through and pretty well picked the ripened fruit. Now when you go to pick this, you find some that you could feel whether they have any give to them. If they're soft, they'll have a little give, and that's good. But when they start to have color, as you see here, you'll see a variety of colors. You'll see from green to a light red. Now the red ones are very sweet, and that's good. That helps give flavor to the jelly, but you do need green or unripened, some unripened fruit, because jelly won't set. Unripened fruit has more pectin in it. It's high in pectin, and by the time fruit gets sweet and ripened, it has lost about all of its pectin, and you can't use just all sweet fruit. But that doesn't matter, because when you're making jelly, you still have to add a lot of sugar to it to restore the sweet flavor the fruit originally had. Here's a photograph of the Scuppernongs after I trimmed them down, but this is spring now, and it shows where I actually started to, experience some growth. I was very happy to see these leaves coming back up, and you could see how drastically I had cut back on these. It was really surprising, but I was going by information, of course, that I'd got off the internet telling you what you need to do to get them to thrive again. But as you can see, they started coming back and doing their thing, but when they came in to season that year, they didn't produce much, I imagine because of this shock, but this year, hey, they're doing pretty good. Well, that's as many as I got today. This vine is usually much hardier, but what has happened, 2 winters ago, I come out here and I cut these down to nothing, just to where there are a couple of sticks sticking up out of the ground, because it had become so overgrown and mismanaged. I had not had the time to devote to taking care of these with everything else going on my property, that it was just time for a drastic pruning. And I had feared that I had killed these things, because I thought, how could anything grow back from that? But they did. Unfortunately, last year, they only produced 10 in one little spot of these Scuppernongs, and I thought, well, they have to recover. And this year, of course, you can see they're doing much better. However, when they're really thriving, I can get 10 times the amount out of this. Well, there's two plants growing here, than what I'll get this year with no problem. And I will prune back slightly at the end of this season. Now, this is around the 1st of September now, and I will continue to come out daily for the next 2 weeks and select the Scuppernong grapes that I feel will be suitable for making jelly. Now you probably have to say, well, you know, some of those, they don't look all that appetizing. And I would have to say that I would agree with you that these are probably not very attractive fruit, but the beauty is on the inside, and you're getting the juice from these. That's what you're really after. And Scuppernongs have a unique flavor. Probably you won't get this taste from anything else, any other type of grape. They don't grow like wine grapes where they're in beautiful triangular bunches. They're not like grapes that you would buy at the store and just, you know, wash and then just pluck and eat, because they do have a very tough exterior. And when we wash these off, we'll have to go through and double check, because, you know, there might be a place where some insect has got to one or two or several, who knows. But we just had to pull them out and then continue on with the process. Okay, just for contrast purposes, if you'll notice on the left, I have some, you know, Concord grapes that I bought at the store. They're very, very delicious. And to the right, you have the Scuppernongs, and you notice the difference in the size. And these aren't what's considered large Scuppernongs. These things you'll find sometimes twice as big. You know, about, I don't know, I wouldn't say the size of a golf ball, but pretty close. And they taste very good, but they're like a wine grape. So if you've ever had a wine grape, you know they're not like the ones on the left where you just sit there and you just eat them by the bunches. And, you know, on these you can't eat the outside. On the Scuppernongs, you don't eat the skin, because they're tough, they're leathery. You'll find too that just being natural as they are and grown wild, they'll have little specks on them. That's just typical. You'll find that everywhere, and they're not, you know, they're not engineered to be a perfect grape, because they're wild. They were discovered wild, and to describe, there's no way you could describe the taste of these, because it's like trying to describe a color. The only way you know is when you go to eat one, where the difference lies. And both in their own right, the Concord grapes or the Scuppernongs are wonderful fruit. They both taste excellent, but they do taste different. Well, now that they're washed, we have approximately one big old bucket full of grapes, Scuppernongs. Seriously though, I weighed what I have here, and that's 25 pounds, but that includes the bucket. I'll tell you how much the bucket weighed here in a minute. Okay, because of the nature of muscadines, I guess just grape jelly, period. Well, in this case, I imagine it might be a little different, but you need to make the jelly in small batches. So you do like 4 pounds is what it would call for, you know, of grapes to get the juice. I kind of feel it's going to take more. But here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to be processing all 25 pounds, and I'll be storing some of the juice so I can make several batches, but I can still only make small batches at a time to achieve my goal. Okay, well, here's where we're going to go on ahead and start crushing a small quantity, just, you know, enough to start straining some of this through. So what I'm going to do is add some of these to this smaller pail, bucket, or whatever you want to call it. Uh-oh, lost one. There we go. And I'm going to break out some of my high-tech equipment to accomplish this. What I have is a piece of Brazilian hardwood. It could be any type of board, or you could use anything. A lot of people buy a food mill to do this. I just haven't taken the time to do it. So anyways, I've used this before. It works. Now what we want to do though, when we go to crushing these, you hear them popping. What we want to be careful as we wind up getting them, crushed down pretty good. We don't want to crush the seeds. And the reason why is it'll start to turn the juice bitter. So we just want to do enough just to break the skin. And we'll go through this here. And it's going to take several minutes because I'm not in a hurry. This isn't something that if you're in a hurry to do stuff like this, you really don't have the time, and you're not going to enjoy what you're doing.